Hello, children. This is your English teacher, Mrs. Aisha. All of us, right from our childhood, have enjoyed listening stories from our grandparents, parents, teachers, and friends. Now, let us learn how to create stories. Let me tell you what exactly is a story. A story is basically a narration of a real or imaginary events and involving real or imaginary people. A story needs to be represented in words. Even images or moving pictures can narrate a story. It is generally designed to entertain and send message across. Now let us go through the elements of short story writing. Step 1. Setting. When the story takes place. The story is time bound. It can take place in the present, past, future, or in the dreams. We can also mention seasons. The best stories knitted in the past are Arabian Nights, Akbar and Birbal, Tenali Rama, Panchatantra, and many more which people still enjoy. Next point, where it is taking place. It is related to the location. The story can be knitted around different locations like homes, streets, parks, palaces, ships, and there are no limits. Step 2. Characters. Main character, protagonist and antagonist. The protagonist is known as the hero of the story and the antagonist is the villain of the story. The protagonist and the antagonist tend to be in conflict with each other. The protagonist is the central character of the story. The antagonist is the opposing force or character who leads the conflict against the protagonist. Antagonist can also be a force of nature, such as hurricane, tornado, complex problem, or idea. For example, Cinderella is the protagonist in the story, and her stepmother and stepsister are antagonists. Second point, supporting or subordinate characters. They are generally helping protagonist and antagonist to achieve their goals. Third point, these can be people or animals. We can have in the story different types of people, animals, birds, trees, and all these put together creatively makes the story exciting along with good dialogues. Step 3. Plot. Now let me explain you about the plot. In simple words, it is a sequence of events that are taking place in the story. We can have a combination of events knitted together to make the plot, and these events can be divided in three main sections. The beginning. Let me explain you this point. we should have a great beginning of the story. Here we can start by writing once upon a time or one spring day, or we can write on a dark night, and many such interesting lines through our imagination. Next comes the middle part or the main part of the story, which is very important. All the events are happening here with their characters. The third one is the end. End should be exciting. It can be happy, sad, or message driven. We need to keep in mind that it should be logically relevant to the story. Step 4, problem or conflict. Our imagination should give us interesting ideas about the problems that our characters will be facing and how they will react with that problem or conflict. Step 5, solution or resolution. How the conflict is solved, answer to the problem, finding a way out. Let me explain this. This is the most important part of the story. Here, the characters that are main and subordinate together come out of problems. This makes the reader happy. Step 6, title for the story. Title should be short, simple, and relevant to the story. I hope this will help you to write many interesting stories on your own. This brings us to the end of the story writing session. Thank you. Have a nice time writing your stories.